first, I just want to say congratulations for the legacy. You know, you really had something to do with all of these people here, and that's gonna, you know, live forever. One of the things I guess, like, the story that I want to share is, you know, just being a part of year after year of great student assistance, and me having been one, and just seeing that difference, seeing that growth. You know, you can see the lives that are being impacted as it's happening. As a supervisor, you see those little moments where you know, start to get it, you start to get confident. And Michael has a lot to do with that, because he, like, pulls you in, he builds that trust. And one of the things that I'm really, you know, happy that he was able to make happen with the help of a lot of the student assistants was to build that network, you know, past graduation, to actually create events, to do socials, to get out of work and actually engage with people that came before you or are still there now. Because at the end of the day, you know, we're in a university, we're all trying to graduate, and a lot of us have, you know, that interest in that marketing field and communications and the creative, and so what better thing to do than to network within your own people. And Michael was able to create that and sustain that and to get that backbone to help out and really set that foundation. So congratulations on that, and I'm looking forward to many, many more years of that.
My favorite memory of Michael Niles is during the dodgeball era. He is one of 2 people to ever get red carded and run off the field of battle, but he was there. It was sad but true, but he had a lot of passion out there, as much passion as he had in the office. But we're gonna miss him out there on the court, we're gonna miss him in the office, but he's gonna be there. He's gonna have a lot of free time, so I feel like you got a lot of lunch appointments coming your way.
I don't remember what point of my career it was, but I was sitting with Michael and I was just like not sure what I wanted to do for a job, like getting out of college. And Michael was just like, well, what do you like? And I was like, I love music. And he was like, well, just why don't you try and do that? And I was like, I can't, like I've never done anything in music ever. And Michael was just like, well, why not you? Like, you should just try it. And he like sat with me and really looked through internships. And he helped me find one. And now I work in music and I do like everything I could have ever wanted. And I think it's all because of Michael, which is awesome. But that's it.
I have a lot of memories. Honestly, that's probably one of the favorite places I've ever worked.
Yeah.
I think you're such a great mentor to all of us, and even to future generations. You put in a lot of heart and love with each and every person. And working in ad agency, sometimes they like kind of put you on the side. But then looking back in retrospect, I was like, man, we had it really good at the USU. And I just want to thank you for just guiding each and every one of us. There's so much value, even as a human person, that I took out from the USU. So thank you so much, Michael.
Michael, you've always been the best. You took everyone under your wing, so we all have to be very grateful and just show you, I'm so glad everyone's here to show you this, because you always showed us all of the love and support, and you deserve all the happiness in the world, because you were just everyone's father figure. You were just what's wrong? Are you okay? You were just always so genuine and supportive, and you deserve all the happiness in the world, man. You were always inspiring, supportive, just the best boss ever, right? I remember there was a time, there was some little conflict, a little drama we had, sorry, and you were just what's going on? A lot of what's really going on? I was I just feel no one likes me. I you were there I'm so sorry, everyone loves you. What are you talking about? I was I don't know, but you're always there, and you're just always. I don't know how much to say. We love you. Just thank you for everything.
thing that like stood out for me the most was I was in Akasola, which is the acapella group on campus, and it was like a really big part of my life, and like it really taught me a lot. And I never really ever invited anyone out to those things. Like I was just like, I kind of advertised, but I was always kind of self-conscious to like invite people like in my life. And I kind of just like, I knew Michael was like one of my favorite, he is my favorite boss, and like he meant so much to me, and I knew I was gonna be leaving, and I wanted to kind of like, I was like, hey Michael, just wanted to let you know I'm having the concert, and like it'd be awesome if you came, but okay if you can't. And I honestly wasn't expecting him to come, but he came, and it was like, it honestly just meant so much to me because like I didn't think he was ever gonna come, or like, I just didn't think it was like, to me, I always think my stuff is never that important, but like he always proved to me how important he like saw me as, and like even when I don't want to cry. Even when like I didn't like see myself as like that important, he like always made me feel like so important. And I don't appreciate it.
Said it all.
I feel like I'm gonna sound like a broken record because everyone I feel like has the same experience when working with Michael, but I think Michael and like this job at the USU was just such a pivotal moment in my entire college career, but also just I think like my growth as a professional, but also just like as a human. And I think Michael really set the bar so high for like bosses anywhere because he was someone who genuinely cared. He was someone who just genuinely cared about you and like would take time out of his day to just talk to you, not just about work, but like about how your life's going, how everything at school's going, like your family. Like I feel like Michael just really took the time to get to know each and every one of us. And I think we were even just talking to him earlier with like Jenna and I, and like we haven't seen him in years, but he was bringing up he remembers exactly like the moment that he interviewed us all those years ago and like how what we said in the interviews and like what we were doing. And I just think I'm so grateful to know and like I have known a boss like and someone like Michael, and I definitely feel like it's a well-deserved retirement, but and I know that we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a story. So before I joined USU, I had another job and I was taking full-time classes, and I just decided I want to make friends at CSUN. Okay. I decided I want to make friends at CSUN, and I wanted to figure out a way to do that, and I thought, okay, I should probably start working on campus, and even though I had another job and school. And I saw the ad online and I applied and I got an interview and I interviewed with Michael. And then after the interview I thought, I just made a mistake. Like I really don't need another job. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna go through school and with it, And then a couple of days later, Michael called me and he's like, I think he left a voicemail because I was in class, and the voicemail was basically, congratulations, you got the job. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, how do I politely say no? But I called him, and then even before I said anything, his words were like, congratulations, out of 148 applications, we decided to move forward with your application. I thought, at that second, I was like, I can never say no at this point. So I said, oh, thank you so much, I'm excited, like, when do I start? And just want to tell you, like, long story short, I think I was with the marketing department for over a year, and I didn't go to high school here, but all my best friends are from the USU, and that's because of the culture you created. I've seen cultures within the USU, not to like, say anything wrong, but you created a complete different culture within the USU. You allowed us to be ourselves, and we were able to be ourselves and also learn a lot about marketing and also like how to lead with kindness. So that's what you taught us, and thank you so much.
Like everyone's saying, you're not just like there at work, you're there, you actually cared about what everyone's doing outside of work. And so I had like invited, actually a couple of people came, but I was like doing that whole like vendor thingy and you actually came and you like showed up to the booth, and I took a picture of you and I put you on my story. I was like, the real Michael Niles is here. In the wild, outside of the USU. That just like meant a lot to me. Like I feel like you definitely boost everyone's confidence that you talk to, because, and you have like you yourself have a crazy career that you're able to be like just such a role model, and you have so many experiences that you're able to share, but then on top of that, you're also like there for us, you know? So I feel like that was my favorite memory of you, but I mean, that's not, goes without saying that the whole experience actually working with you was amazing too. So thank you, Michael.
I had recently gotten laid off from my first job straight out of college, and I was so discouraged and, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Like worried about what I was gonna do next. And I just remember you pulling me aside and saying like, hey, you have your head straight, you keep on putting that hard work, and you made me feel like I had it in me to just keep going and not give up. And I mean, even at the USU, you really showed us what a healthy work environment was, especially for a marketing team. And now when I look for a job, or just like meet a boss, I try and find qualities that you had in a boss, and you like reminded me that, hey, you're not only interviewing for a job, but you're also interviewing the job. And that was so important for me to remember. And I mean, just the words of encouragement you give us, and the fact that you like reach out to us. Like, I've never had a boss go out of their way for their employees so much. And yeah, you were like literally a dad for a career in a sense. And you definitely made like an imprint in my life, and I appreciate you so much, Michael.
There is a lot of cool memories that I've had with Michael, especially whether it be professionally or personally, you know, around that development. But one of my favorite memories was actually very recently. I just graduated college, wasn't really liking my job. It's actually a lot more than that, but I'll keep it. I didn't really like my job. And I was like, who do I turn to? Where can I go to? And I thought of Michael, and I was like, hey, Michael, do you have a chance to talk on the phone? And we were all remote, so I couldn't like see him and just walk into his office, you know. But it was still the same thing on the phone call, and even then he just kind of similar to what y'all were saying, he really does make you feel important, and he makes your work worthwhile, and he makes you feel as a person like you can do anything, because why not? You know what I mean? And I remember after that conversation, moving forward, and I'll forever think this, I'll be like, what would Michael tell me? Like, what would he say? What would in this situation, what would he say? What should I do? And it's just like they said, it is a well-deserved retirement. You know, you really impacted a lot of people here, as you can see, and some aren't even here. And I know that they'll always remember who you were as a boss. And yeah, you really set the bar for being a boss, because you were really awesome. And I'll never forget that job that I had in college that really contributed so much into not only who I am, but what I do.
The USU was actually my first job ever, the first job. And I remember going in there, Jenny was there, Troy was there, and I was just so nervous, but you guys believed in me and what I can bring into the USU, and I'm so grateful to this day. You guys have given me the opportunity, because I don't know who I'd be right now in the real world. Damn, why are you so hard? But yeah, I don't know how to thank you enough, because I feel like you're such a dad figure, and not just me, but everyone here. I think one of the best memories I had was when I went out to distribute and I was at Sierra Hall. I was putting up posters on the wall, and the whole glass frame breaks on top of me. And I didn't know what to do, and I was actually breathing from my hand, and I didn't even feel it. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So I go back to the marketing department. No one was there, and it was just Michael in the office. And I go in there, and I'm like, Michael, the whole frame of the Sierra Hall. I don't know what to do, but I'm okay. And he was like, come on, let's just go to where do we go? To the nurse, yeah, to the nurse. And he was there with me the whole time, and just being very supportive that everything's gonna be okay. And I was shaky. But other than that, I just thank you for just being there for me. Even when I don't really need it, thank you. I don't know how to thank you enough.
I have so many great memories with Michael. From our one-on-ones, I was mostly just talking about life and getting, advice about anything happening. He was always there for us. One of my favorite memories was when I had my my improv show. And he was the one that actually pushed me to do this. So I was like, okay, I'm only gonna invite him because if it's bad, you know, he won't give me, he won't make fun of me, you know what I mean? It's just Michael. So I kind of kept it on the low. And so I just remember like, I'm on stage and all of a sudden I see Michael and his wife in the crowd and I'm just like, oh my God, they came, but I had to keep it together on stage. So then I just remember like after the show, like going to see them and it's like my family, my friends, and then Michael and Catherine were there and I'm like, wow, that's amazing, you know? So I just want to thank you for always supporting me and pushing me to go after anything I want, and just, you were the main reason I did that. Cause I was like, no, I'm not gonna be good. I can't do it. And he's like, why not you? Why not? You're funny. You can do it. I'm like, okay, okay, sure. Even if I wasn't good, he would be like, you were good. You were great. So thank you so much for.
I'm very insincere.
Sure. No, but I just thank you so much for everything you've done for me, and I feel like I've done so many speeches now. And I don't know what else to say. But you know how much you mean to me, and I'm really bummed to see you go. But I know you're still gonna be around for dodgeball and lunches and stuff, so congratulations, Michael.
I have to say that being in the USU Marketing Department, it is the safest, the healthiest, and the funnest workspace that I've ever been a part of. And under your guidance and your mentorship, I felt like everybody there was on a trajectory for growth. You've resonated a lot to everybody, and you were probably like one of the catalysts of my growth when I graduated. And I don't think I can thank you. There's like no other words that I can describe of my thanks to you. So it's really sad to see you go, but I'm sure you're gonna stick around.
I think after I graduated, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I think a lot of the things you have mentioned in our one-on-ones and were so influential and really made a profound impact. I think you, similar to what everybody was saying, you kind of instill a confidence of like, you can do anything. I never thought I could work at like like Fortune 500 companies or anything like that. But you all were always like, hey, you could do it. So I appreciate that. I felt like that was something that helped me realize the horizon was way broader than I could see. So thank you, and thank you so much for all the support after that as well. And yeah, thank you, Michael.
I remember when I first got like hired, like when we do like the second interview with you to make sure that you like us. You're like, yeah. You were like telling me like, wow, like you're a freshman? I was like, yeah. And you're like, you know what, like that's really cool. Like I'm so proud of you. And you like didn't even know me yet. And you're like, you know, getting involved in school is like the most important thing and whatever and all this stuff. And then you went and grabbed James, and then you're like, okay, like yeah, we're hiring you or whatever. And I was like all excited, and you're like, you should be excited and whatever. And I was like, this is great, like this is a great achievement. And I feel like that's like how you've been like throughout the entire time that we've worked here, like just always like super proud of us and everything. Sorry, I always cry at these things. I'm like not even sad. Well, I am sad that you're leaving. But yeah, like it's really cool to have like a boss that wants to see you grow and wants to see you like achieve things. And I'm really glad that all of us were able to experience that because of you.
My favorite memory with Michael was actually my first memory with Michael during my interview. You know, of course, I was hired during the pandemic, so, you know, we interviewed through Zoom. And my power went out during the interview. And of course I panicked and I was like, oh my God, I blew it, you know, this is over. And I was eventually finally able to reconnect, and, you know, I thought like, I'm gonna apologize and they're gonna say, all right, thanks for your time, you know, we won't call you.
And of course, Michael was like, it's fine, you know, you don't control the weather, you know, it was a thunderstorm. And just that first experience of like, you didn't miss a beat, you just immediately were like, let's keep going, let's, you know, get back on track. And, you know, no, like, didn't make me feel bad at all while I'm beating myself up. I think that was, you know, a signal to me that this was going to be a good culture to work in, as we all agree. And, you know, from then on, like everyone has said, just the support that you've given, the encouragement, the compliments, even just the little, you know, in our approval messages, when you say, great work, great job, you know, it's just that little smile comes to my face. Like it's such a small thing, but it's so impactful. And I hope you know, realize like the positive impact that you've made for all of us. So thank you so much and congratulations.
Everyone obviously, and like literally every person has been like a pleasure to work with, literally everyone. But if I were to like highlight, you were one of the biggest like influences in the work. And since like I started working, like the first day I came in to do the interview with you, I think we talked for like 45 minutes. After that, every single time we had an interaction, we were just talking about something, like especially music. We were always talking about music. You always had some really, really fun and interesting experiences to share. We have so many common bands that we absolutely love, and knowing that you actually saw some of them live back in the day really excites me.
I'm really, really old.
That's besides the point, but but that's an amazing thing that I can learn so much about it from you. And besides that, I think I've told you this before, but you created a standard for what a boss should be. And like I've worked at places before. I've worked at like different organizations and departments in CSUN as well. And I had bosses who were just not nice at all. Just to be polite, but they were really not nice people. They just cared about work. They didn't care about the people themselves. They did not really want to have like human conversations, like kind of a connection, like a friendship. And that does not make you feel comfortable at work, you know? It doesn't make you feel like you belong. But you're something else. You just go talk to everybody, you come and make us feel like we're your friends, and you actually treat us as friends. Like we never felt like you were like a boss first. We always felt like you were a friend first, and then a boss. And you created that threshold that it's like a standard that I would compare all my bosses to come along next with, and I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna compare if this person is an amazing boss to the standard that Michael has set up, because you really did touch my heart as a boss, as a friend, and as just an amazing person to be around. And you are gonna be so missed. And you're gonna be missed in the office, but we're always gonna hang out later on, of course. And I can't wait to see what amazing adventures you go to. I'll definitely ask for pictures and videos and ask you for your opinion for where you're going. And yeah, hopefully we get to hang out much more and maybe go to a concert too.
There you go.
You know, a lot of people said some great things today and that were totally true, but I think Michael not only set the standard for what a boss should be, but I think what a great person that we, you know, all deserve in our lives anyway, as a friend, you know, as someone who just genuinely is interested in how you're doing and your own personal life, not only just academically or, you know, professionally, whatever that may be. But I think I can speak for everybody here where I think we've all taken, you know, some of the leadership skills that Michael has displayed toward us, and hopefully, you know, when all of us are in leadership positions in the future, we can emulate, you know, what kind of a great boss that Michael is. So, you know, everybody said such great things. I have nothing really to add because I agree with it all. But I think just for me personally, Michael will go down in my history, I guess, as one of the, most genuine human beings and most kind, just genuinely kind people that I've had in my life. So, I think it's hard to come by really genuine human beings, and Michael definitely emulates that. So, big congrats again. I know that, you're still gonna be doing some fun stuff. It's gonna be all play and no work now. But just always wishing the best for you, and you'll always have a special place in my heart as well.
Felt lonely, to be honest. But when Michael hired me to be the new PR assistant, every time I interacted with him, I just felt like it was just like a light of kindness and happiness that I felt with him, and he's always supported me because personally I felt like before, Michael, I felt limited. I felt like I was limiting myself, but Michael was always like, why not you? Why don't you try this? And he really taught me the importance of taking initiative, and he's always been there for me when I was happy or even sad. And I always appreciate his genuine kindness and support. And, from the time he was my supervisor, every time we have one-on-ones, I just appreciate, all the advice you've given me related to my PR career and telling me how, it's important to reach for the stars, be the highest position in this company. It's there for you, and, you're not gonna know until you try. And so I've always, kept that advice in my head. And so, I'm really excited for you. I know it's sad that you're leaving, but I'm also really excited for all the adventures you'll be having. And I'm really grateful that you were my supervisor, because you really set the standard for what a boss should be.